Do you know what software is? What about engineering? Have you ever heard the term software engineer? What does a software engineer even do? My name is Neechie Greer, and I am a software engineer.
Okay, Neechie. So, what is software engineering?
Anytime you visit a website or use an internet-powered application, you're engaging with the end results of a software engineer's work. Software engineers are computer science professionals who use knowledge of engineering principles and programming languages to build software products, develop computer games, and run network control systems. So your favorite game on that Xbox PC or PS4? We built that. Now I'm sure you're wondering more about the profession and the importance of software engineering. Where can this lead to? How in demand this job is? What's the pay look like? Well, let me help a little bit with that. So, where did the software engineering field even come from? Who was the first software engineer? Well, a woman named Ada Lovelace was the first software engineer. Her contributions to the industry derived from her great mathematical aptitude. We're very focused on logic, math, and even problem solving.
What does the future look like to a software engineer?
We have a very great job trajectory. Now that we're moving into more of a digital age, we're not at a time where software engineers are becoming more important than ever. As we move into machine learning and artificial intelligence, along with our world becoming completely digitalized with touch screens and games and things of that nature, we have a very long reach in an array of ways in which we can contribute to the industry. Even though software engineering sounds amazing, that doesn't mean it doesn't come with its highs and its lows.
Okay, so what are some bad parts about being a software engineer?
If I was to name the worst parts of my job, because we'll start with the worst, I would say the biggest thing is unrealistic expectations, both from yourself and sometimes the people you work with. There aren't too many other things that are bad about being a software engineer. Now, let's talk about the best parts of software engineering. I have no idea where to start, but I can guarantee you the list is endless. I mean, first and foremost, there's nothing better than building something from scratch and accomplishing a goal, because that's what you do at all times. That part, that engineering part, you're always building, upgrading, adjusting, or creating, which is amazing. Another great part that I love about software engineering is my ability to be creative when I can be. Some jobs call for me to do things exactly as they need to be done, and then there's other jobs where I have the leeway to allow my imagination to run rampant. And I love those types of jobs.
So, how much do software engineers get paid?
I mean, I guess you could say the pay is great as well. That is a great part, but the pay is amazing. The average income of a software engineer is almost $122,000 per year. You could probably make a lot more depending on the type of jobs and projects and roles you take on for yourself, especially if you're a freelancer or you do additional work on top of whatever your job may be.
What kind of special education, if any, is required for software engineers?
One of my favorite parts about being a software engineer is the fact that you do not have to go to school to be a software engineer. You don't have to have a degree to do this. Now, don't get me wrong, you still need to be educated. I personally attended a boot camp to become a software engineer after already working as a professional. And with my degree in health science, it actually benefited me as I became a software engineer because the learning systems are very, very similar.
What are some other names for software engineers?
If you've never heard of software engineering, or you aren't sure what a software engineer is, maybe you know us by another name. That could be software developer, web developer, back-end engineer, front-end engineer, full stack developer, full stack engineer. Yes, we have a lot of names.
What are the most famous companies that are hiring software engineers?
Some of the most famous companies that work with software engineer are probably some that you have right now on hand in your home, and you very well could be watching this on one of those devices. There's Google, Apple, Microsoft, the big three, as I like to call them, and so many more. And on another scale, the website that you use to access this video, a software engineer built it. This video, the way it's encoded, the way that you can create a video on a computer, the software to do it, a software engineer built it.
Where do software engineers tend to work?
As a software engineer, you could be working in a variety of environments. You might be at a hot IT and software company, or you could be working for a mom and pop shop, creating websites and storefronts for them online. You could also work in a place like I do for government and consulting. Me personally, I work for a consulting company as a software engineer. I love it because I have the opportunity to work on a ton of different projects and each time learning more and utilizing skill sets that keep me fresh. Now, software engineers, maybe about 20 to 30 years ago, tended to be in some very specific areas in the country. Mostly California, Seattle, and New York City is a big one. Now you can find us everywhere. I personally am in Washington, D.C., and I love it here. However, my jobs don't stop here. When I was a freelance engineer, I had jobs that would connect with people all over the country and even people in other parts of the world. At one point, I had an opportunity to work with a crew that was in England.
Neechie, software engineering sounds pretty amazing. What can I do to learn more?
If you want to learn more about software engineering, look at the things that you love to use. Those will help you establish more about the software engineering industry. Find out how that favorite app was built. Learn more about that website that you tend to go to every day. Now, it's more important for you to recognize what type of software engineering you want to do first. Do you want to build video games? Do you want to build mobile and web applications? Or you want to tell a robot what to do? Once you make a decision about that, then start to look at what companies and opportunities out there offer those experiences. And you may even find that you may want to work for yourself for a while and just take on projects and job opportunities that help you grow in the areas that you feel like you want to focus on. It's all up to you.